Hello and welcome back. Unfortunately, the previous video that I've just finished recording had a technical issue and it's not recorded, so which is why you're currently seeing this character in Act 3. So I'm going to quickly recap what I've just done, progressing from the end of the last video you've seen where we farmed Diablo to getting to where we are now. So, we farm Diablo, we get our Hazaru's belt and boots, which are the main items. I also managed to get a crush flange, which is a really nice weapon for crushing blow. And at that point, we had already got to Act 2, and we had obtained the cube, but we stopped and went back to farm Diablo. So we had to progress from the dry oasis through to the Valley of Snakes, through to Arcane Sanctuary. So Far Oasis. We got a really good map, if you remember, where our waypoint was directly next to our maggot's lair. So unfortunately all the maps are going to be uncovered, but I'll still talk through how I got through. In Act 2 you want to have high lightning resistance. I have lightning resistance of 60. If you have 50 plus, that would be considered high at this level of the game. So if you don't have 50 plus, try and get as close to that as you can. If you need to shop for items in the town from vendors that give you more lightning resistance. So Maggot's Lair, you want to head right. So our entrance tile exits to the northeast. So right of northeast is southeast, and you can see this is where my cursor is the direction we want to lead, and we're going to head into that from the north, from the north heading southeast. I ran through here explaining that if we don't need to kill anything, so we can jump over all the monsters if we want to. That's a leap attack, which has a higher range, or if you need a little bit more experience you can kill them. I started to go down this path here, and as I got to this corner it uncovered the map and I knew I had to go back on myself. So we can just fight our way through. If you have farmed Diablo, the first thing you want to do, apologies, is make sure you're back on players 1. If you are still on players 3, these monsters are going to be difficult. Make it easier for yourself, go back to players 1. So again, level 2 we want to go right. So we are exiting to the southwest. So right of southwest is northwest. So again, I came to this junction, I went northwest, ran all the way round, and noticed it was a dead end that led back on itself. Just fight your way through or leap. And continue to go in the southeast, so southwest direction, knowing that I need to go northwest. Got to another junction, go northwest because we know that's the general direction we're going to lead, and there's our level 3. Level 3 is straight, so we exit to the northeast, so we want to continue straight, which is northeast. So I got to this junction, went northeast, got to a T, 50-50 guess over whether it's left or right, so I went to the right. As soon as I got down to here, the map uncovered, I knew it was a dead end, so I headed back on myself and went to the left. Again, I can either go backwards, southwest, which I know is the wrong direction, or I can go further to the north. Just continued, and then we got to our destination. Open the sparkly chest, and that is where you will find the staff. Once you've got your staff, we then continue forward, and we're looking for the not the Far Oasis, we were in the Far Oasis. Looking for the Lost City, yes. So we go back to the Far Oasis. I just followed the map round. Thought this was the edge of the map, but it's only actually halfway. So we got to our stairs. I went up them. I just followed this ridge. I got us to the edge of the map. The next area is always on an edge. So I then continued following the edge round, and then that brought us to the Lost City. And I just did the same again. I just followed the edge of the map. The edge again took me to a centre, which I didn't realise it was a centre at the time. Just followed it round. Brought us to another set of stairs, which I followed through. And you can see from how the map is uncovered, I actually continued to the northeast and followed it where my cursor is all the way round until I eventually found the waypoint. Once I got to this corner, found the waypoint, and then just continued to follow the road. At this T-junction, I know it's not to the northwest. I knew it's more just directly west. So just ran over, hit the corner, came back south a little bit, found the Valley of Snakes. In the Valley of Snakes, you want to be heading, in the Claw Viper Temple, you want to be heading to the left. When we first came in, you see where the cursor is, this little tiny bit of the map shown. So I thought it might have been there. Sometimes you can get a right, which heads you into a little room like this. So I first started to go right, but as soon as it got to this corner and the map showed as it did, I didn't think this would be the direction. So we're heading back in the left direction. So straight on these maps, just clear these mobs. So this is our entrance tile. Straight is for us northwest. We want to go left. Left of northwest is southwest. So that's we always want to be heading in the southwest direction. Then we can leap, we can howl. We don't need to fight any of these. If you want to, you can. I don't know why I chose to go south there. I just did. And then southwest again. And we get to our level 2. And in the level 2, you don't actually have to kill any monsters. What you can do is just get to the middle, leap over, and if you kick the sun altar, you'll then get the amulet. If you want to kill the monsters, you can do. Just be careful with the special unique Fang Skin. He can do a lot of damage. So you now will have in your cube, you'll have both the amulet and the staff. So you transmute them, and that becomes the complete staff. And then once you transmute, you have to talk to Drognan as part of the quest, and then that will allow you to then enter the palace. You run over to the palace where Jareen is. Before this, the guards will prevent you from entering, and if you don't talk to Drognan, again they will prevent you to enter. So you have to transmute the staff, talk to Drognan, and then you can enter. And in the palace, you just want to head to one of the corners. I always just head southeast. Sorry. So we just run through to the southeast, and you're heading for the dead corner. And you'll see the stairs. We can go down, and same again. Just keep going southeast every time. Then we can just howl if you don't want to fight, or if you do want to fight, just take your time. You should be, you're looking to be around level 18, 19, 20, somewhere like that. And then once we get to the palace at level 3, we're then heading for the middle of the room. There's quite a few minions here, we can kill these. They're always good experience. Cursed, always be careful with cursed. Head to the centre, and you'll see this teleporter. And again, there's another. This is a super unique. So Fire Eye will always be on this map. He might not be in this room. He could be to the northwest or the northeast, but he's always on this map. We activate our portal and go through to the Arcane Sanctuary. I was lucky, I picked the correct direction the first time, so I decided to go northeast. It is random, but this is where, if you haven't already, as soon as you hit level 18, you want to get Leap Attack. So Leap Attack, instead of running around these stairs, which can be awkward, especially if there's a lot of monsters, you can just Leap Attack all the way to the top. It makes getting through the Arcane Sanctuary much easier. So again, just running past everything, we don't need to fight these. If you're a little bit behind in experience, you can do. Leap Attack over. Leap Attack does use more mana than Leap, but you travel much further. And when you get to the end of whichever direction you've chosen, if you have big monsters or lots of high density, you can use your poison potions. You've still got them, they're still decent damage.
I am overburdened.
We've got quite good weapons, so I doubt any of these are going to be better. So charms are always worth picking up. Lightning resistance, so if you're short on lightning resistance, that'd be a perfect item to find. So when you get to the end of whatever direction you've picked, if on this last little section you get an L-shape junction, then you know you've gone the correct direction, and the summoner will be just ahead up these stairs. The summoner does do quite a lot of elemental resistance, elemental damage, so if your resistance is low, especially cold, be careful. You can leap to him, you can shout everything away. We actually killed him with Leap Attack. So yeah, kill the summoner, activate the journal, and then go through to Canyon of the Magi. And what you want to do at this point, make sure you get the waypoints, but then check your journal, and on the last quest there will be a symbol, and the symbol represents the correct tomb. So there are 7 tombs, of which 6 are fake tombs and only 1 is the actual tomb of Talvasha. We got the star. The star is directly to the north. If you don't know where they are, there is they're always in the same place. There's a pattern. I can't remember what they all are. I know it starts with circle. So you can just run to the far left. Just keep going, keep going, keep going until you get to a corner, which we've hit here, and then just check all of the tombs. Now it's a little bit difficult to see, but there's always these little pyramids. If I zoom in, this little pyramid here, and you see that's got the symbol of a circle. So if you check all of your pyramids, pyramid here is a half moon, and just go all the way around until you reach the correct symbol. And next one, square, and then we have the star, which is always in the top corner. So there's our star or sun. Some people call it a sun, I call it a star. This is our correct tomb. We can enter, and in Talresh's tomb, you always want to be going to the left. So on any tomb like this, straight is the opposite direction. It's like a letter X. So we are in the bottom. We are in the southeast of the X. So straight is the opposite, which is northwest. We go to the left. Left of northwest is southwest. So keep going in that general southwest direction. We ran through. We actually managed to run the correct direction first go. You might not always do that. You might have to double back on yourself, and that's fine. Just take your time. Again, you can kill monsters for a little bit more experience if you need to. Unravelers, don't forget we've got taunts. Instead of fighting all the skeletons, taunt the unraveler, and he'll come towards you, and then you can kill him. Makes it much easier. You can do the same with ghouls. If they're shooting fire at you, just taunt them over. There's another unraveler down there. Taunt him towards us. And now you will have either in your inventory or maybe still in your cube, you'll have the staff. If it's in your cube, you need to put it into your inventory, and then you can activate the stone. It won't allow me because I've completed the quest, but you'll activate the stone. It'll open the stone's interface and your inventory, and then you put your Horadric staff into the stone. A little animation happens, and then this chamber opens. So Joriel, which is the Act 2 boss, can be quite difficult. First thing we want to check is our cold resistance. If our cold resistance is quite poor, we can go back to town, and in a similar fashion to how we fought Andariel, we can find the town's potion merchant.
Yeah, what the hell?
And he will sell thawing potions. So buy 3, 4, 5, and when you drink a thawing potion, your resistance will jump by 50, and it also increases the maximum from 75 to 85. So 54 plus 50 is 104. That's past the maximum. So we will go to 85, and there's our 85. Each potion, I can't remember, it might be 30 seconds, it's either 30 seconds or a minute. So we just drink 3 or 4, give 1 to your mercenary.
Thanks.
That will boost his cold resistance also. And then we fight Joriel. And it can be quite difficult. Just make sure you're keeping your eye on the potions. He's currently attacking the mercenary, which is why I've taken 1 damage. Giving the mercenary a potion. Chain boots and a long sword. That's actually really nice drops. So chain boots is our Hazarus. So if you haven't already found Hazarus, there's another set for you. a longsword, I believe, is Clegg's. Now, that's really interesting, and I'll show you a little trick with Clegg's, which most people throw it in the trash because it's such a early weapon. But Clegg's weapon actually gets, as a 2-set bonus, maximum damage per level. I've sidetracked a little bit here. So Killjoy will walk through to here. You'll have a little animation. Tyrael will be in the centre, and he'll create a portal that you talk to him, and then you go back to town. And then just open your journal and follow the quest line. There's a couple of characters that you need to talk to. But while we've just found Clegg's, I will show you how strong this weapon actually is, because it's deceivingly strong. If we were to have Clegg's weapon, in fact, let's make a bit of inventory space so I can show it a bit better. Right, so my malice, my steel, which is a fairly strong weapon, currently doing 26 to 99 damage. We do have a couple of charms like these here, 1 to 6, 1 to 5, so they're supplementing damage, but they will add damage to any weapon, so it's relative. So 26 to 99. If we put Clegg's Tooth on, the Clegg's weapon, we drop to 24 to 75, which is not very good. However, if we were to use the 2-set, so if I was to put Clegg's gloves on, if you keep an eye on my damage, 24 to 75, like 24 to 129. So our 2-set bonus on Clegg's, plus 27 to maximum damage. And it's also got really nice base stats of bonus attack rating and deadly strike. So 50% deadly strike. Deadly strike is chance to do double physical damage. So 50% of the time that's going to do double damage. The only downside to this setup is that the gloves have knockback, which can be a little bit annoying. So if you manage to find these weapons, you'd need the gloves, which I found off Andariel. It's the same chance to drop gloves as it is Hazarus. So if you're trying to get Hazarus, you will probably find the gloves. Keep hold of them. And then if you manage to get Clegg's, you can take Clegg's weapon all the way through the game. It's very strong. But with us having that knockback, and with it being on the gloves, it's gonna happen on every weapon we have. So I'll keep it for now, because it's high damage. I might swap back to steel just to get through the game faster, but I'll come back to Clegg's weapon because it's very strong. But for now, just to progress and show you how I got through the game, because I didn't have Clegg's before, I had instead, and I advised, finding some chance to cast Frost Nova. It's really going to help you out in Act 3. So we can progress through to Act 3. You will end up coming down here to the port, talk to Mishif, and sail east.
That I don't charge you for ferrying you across the sea.
And what you can do here, if you have not managed to find a decent weapon, there will be 2 NPCs here when you first get here. Mishif and another NPC, which is the armourer. I can't remember his name. If you exit and come back in, or leave town and come back in, he's always over here to the northeast. Hatali. if you talk to him, if you've not managed to find a good weapon, he can sell war axe. And you're looking for a war axe that has either max damage, min damage, enhanced damage. These are really high base damage weapons that attack fast. So if you're struggling with weapons, you will have to have more strength. It requires 67 strength instead of the 50 that we have. But it's worth putting your strength up to get one of these weapons if you haven't managed to find another one. And I would search. I would keep resetting the vendor a couple of times until you find a nice one. So we'll do that just to demonstrate. So we can exit. It's a little bit of a walk to get out the town. As soon as the writing comes up, you've entered Spider Forest, we can go back. Talk to him again, and we're looking for them war axe. So there's our war axe, 7 poison damage. We don't want poison damage, we want flat physical. He's only got the 1, sometimes he has more than 1, so you could do that if you wanted to. The other thing you might want to shop for is a teleport staff. So if you're between level 20 and 23, if you speak to Ormus, his weapons are all hammered in paladin weapons and sorceress weapons. But if you're between 20 and 23, teleport is level 24, so it will have a red background like this one does. This is red because chain lightning is a higher level as well. So you can quickly visually see, like, there's one staff, check it, it doesn't have charges, go over to the second weapon tab and there's another red, check that, and it's blizzard. Again, if you want to, you could reset the vendors, go out of town, come back in and try and get another one. You don't need a teleport staff. They are handy, they are useful, but you do not need one. So 2 reds here, blizzard, don't need, and thunderstorm, chain lightning, don't need. And again, so these are just for the sorceress. You want one that has charges. So like this has level 1 ice blast, 33 charges. You would want a staff that says teleport X amount of charges, but you don't need it. So we moved forward in the last video. So I quickly explained how to run through Act 3. I'm not the fastest, but I have a general idea of how it works. The way I run Act 3 is, in previous acts we've mostly been following a road. Now you're following a river. So there's a river here just outside town, just follow the river round and we've got to a little bridge over the river. You always want to be on the left hand side of the river, so the river will be on the right of our character, and we just follow the river, and you're always generally going in the northeast direction. And what you're looking for is a stone bridge. So we've got a bridge here, but it's just a fallen tree, so we can skip that. Get to the next bridge, and this is a stone bridge. And this will always have a little island in the middle with a second stone bridge. And when it does that, just kill these monsters. When it does that, if you continue to follow the bridge, you will get to a little entrance. You open the map, a little entrance, and you can run around here, and you'll either have the spider cavern, as we have, which is where you want to go, or it could be a waypoint and the arachnid's lair, or it might just be empty. But we're looking for the spider cavern. Come into the spider cavern, and you're always going down to the southwest. Just be careful in here. The normal spiders aren't too bad, but as soon as you find the special spiders, the minions, if you look at the top of the screen it says Flame Spider Minion. These can be really nasty, especially if the special spider, which is over there, Sharks the Burning, he's cursed. So if he hits you and casts amplified damage on you, like my mercenary's just got, look at my mercenary's life going down, like he almost got one shot. So be very careful around these spiders. And then you're looking for the sparkly chest, and if it's the first time you open it, you will have Kaleem's eye, which we have already collected. So we are now in roughly the same place I was. We've just progressed the map a bit more. So we're now looking for the Flayer Jungle. Your quest journal should update. It's now saying search for Kaleem's brain in the Flayer Jungle. In the Flayer Dungeon. The Flayer Dungeon is in the Flayer Jungle. So again, we're just going to go back to our river. Find the river and continue to follow the river to the northeast. So we can go past where we crossed the river on this double bridge. You want to go past that a little bit to the northeast, and then as soon as you can, cross over so that the river is on the right hand side of your character again. Be careful with flayers. They are very high density mobs and they can quickly overwhelm you, which is where the chance to cast Frost Nova comes in very handy. So just be careful. If you need to, you can howl them away. So there's another double bridge here. We went this way, we looked down into this little pocket of the forest and it was a dead end, nothing in there, so we came back out. Continue to follow the river to the northeast. We crossed the river on this log and continue to follow it. Quite good experience from these monsters because of the high density, but just be careful. Another stone bridge, so we crossed that. It's a double stone bridge. So we know when we have this, we've always got to the south the entrance into a little forest area. One thing I've not mentioned is resistance. So you want high fire resistance. We've got 75, we're capped out, which is brilliant. You might not have that much, but if you want to aim to have at least 50. The shamans, which we just killed one, but the shamans do really high fire damage. So there's our waypoint, and next to the waypoint is the Arachnid's lair. So if you find this map and you don't know what the cave is called, you can first of all check your journal, and your journal will tell you that it's the spider cavern, or if you've got the waypoint next to it, you know it's the wrong one. So go back to the river and just continue to follow the river. I'm going northeast, and what we found here, we got to a fork in the river. As we've had forks in roads, we've got a fork in the river, and so we uncovered this fork, and we know there's a section here going to the northwest. Jumped over. There's a section here going to the northeast. Jumped over, and there's a third section heading to the southeast. So the spider forest naturally leads into the Great Marsh. That naturally leads into the Flayer Jungle. But you can get a skip map, which means the spider forest directly travels into the Flayer Jungle, which is what we've got here. So if you have a situation like this, you want to run into each path just a little bit, and the map should change. So we're running a little bit here. We actually went to the end and it was the dead end, but the map's not changed. We're still in the spider forest. So you want to go back to that intersection of the river, and we went to the northwest, and this took us to the Great Marsh. You can see there in the middle of the screen. So it still could have been in that direction, but we have one more direction to lead with our river. So we went back to the northeast, and this changed to the Flayer Jungle. It's going to change any second. So technically in the spider forest, and there's our change to the Flayer Jungle. So the Great Marsh, there is nothing to do for the quest line in the Great Marsh. You do not need to go in there. So always look for a skip like this. And then the same principle follows where we continue to run alongside the river, with the river on our right, heading in the general direction of northeast. And this is where we got into a little bit of a hairy situation. Jump the river, because we can with a barbarian, and we can jump the river again. There are a lot of minions in here, so very careful. Take your time going through, and if you need to, you can leap or you can howl. Just take your time through the Flayer Jungle. These are the shamans. I'll try and find another. So there's a shaman. You'll see him do a fire breath. There's the fire breath. If you've got low fire resistance, that will do an awful lot of damage. So again, we're looking for them little dead ends, little entrances to like a forest area. I always want the river on the right hand side of my character. And just take your time going through. Kill all the monsters just to be safe. We got to a dead end, but we're a barbarian, so we can leap over. And if you've still got poison potions, you can use them. I've actually got here on the ground choking gas. So choking gas is the upgrade to strangling gas. So we can throw our strangling gas to we'll sell them because they sell for good value. But we can now use choking gas, which is damage 72, whereas the strangling was only damage 24. So that's a huge jump in damage. And where you've got a corner here, if you've got an L in the river that heads south east then northeast, check the south corners. Just back here you can see there's a little entrance, so this could be, it might be nothing, but it could be where we need to go. So you always want to check for a little entrance like this. Again, the shamans, we can taunt him, that will help. He's still going to breathe fire, but it means he's going to come towards us. Don't forget about your rejuves if you need to use them. We're looking for, so on the map, you can kind of see where my cursor is. There's a little symbol here, which is the Gidbin. So this is one of our quests. Just activate the Gidbin, and then some monsters will appear. Kill them. And they drop the Gidbin, which is one of the quests. And on the same little forest section as the Gidbin will be the Flayer Dungeon. So just run around a little bit. Here we go, up here. And there's our Flayer Dungeon. Now, if you find the dungeon before the waypoint, put a town portal, and then take your time and continue running in the northeast direction following the river until you either find the Flayer Jungle waypoint or you exit the Flayer Jungle into Lower Karust and then find the waypoint there. This will, in the long run, this will be quicker, as long as you've got enough time in the same game to complete. So I'll quickly just run forward. Again, we can use our poison potions. Here. This might be the wrong way, but just going to double check. Yeah. So we continue following the river in the general direction of northeast, but it's kicked off to the west, and now it's going back to the northeast. Run out of stamina. We just want to get to either a double bridge, or there could be an entrance on the left. Getting low on potions, so I might just quickly go to town. And we can use our poison potions to do all of our damage. Top up on some potions. So you don't want to run through as quick as I am doing. Not that I'm going particularly fast. Don't think we need a tier. We've got a level up, so we've got 10 points to spend, which we've not spent. Say if you wanted to, if you've not found a nice weapon, you could double check for a war axe, which he's not got one that's been very good at the moment. But if you need to, you could put extra points into strength. We've got good weapons, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to go vitality. So I'll quickly head back and find the waypoint. We don't want to take the... Oh, I've messed up there. We shouldn't have used another town portal because that's cancelled the one that we had. That's okay. We'll stop the video there and we'll carry on in the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching.